Welcome to the 10th season of The Author's Corner. Each show is jam-packed with interviews, reviews, and so much more for you, the author and the artist. And now, here's our host, author H.D. Campbell.
Welcome to the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. As always, I'm your host, H.D. Campbell. I'm here hitting total geekdom. I'm at Disney's official Marvel headquarters. Man, but my wife, where's the Marvel Cup, baby? Where's the Captain Marvel Cup?
Captain Marvel, y'all. It's all what you need. Get your sip on with the captain.
Yeah, my wife just made me got me a Captain Marvel shirt. Captain Marvel Cup. I'm so excited. Now I'm about to.
But we need a Captain Marvel's gauntlet. I think he needs to make sure he gets all the Infinity Stones, y'all. It is end days.
That's right. So I'm about to make my own gauntlet here. And when we come back, we're going to have our first author. But stay tuned for more geekdom.
She's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart covered as a gift, and hope that you'll take it into her side. La 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 la.
Go to www.regicrochet.com for that one-of-a-kind item. That's www.regicrochet.com.
Look at all the goofy candy. We have now just entered a place called Candy Cauldron. I think this is a place where your sweet tooth is very, very good. I'm going to get some candies, and then we go into our next offer.
Well, I've always written, I've always journaled. When I was a little girl, I had a diary. Now that I'm an adult, it's a journal. But I've always enjoyed expressing myself through writing. But I never aspired to be a writer. I never, as I was growing up, I never thought, I'm going to write a book. And what happened was I was actually reading a book, and this idea of a story just kind of came to me. And I don't know, I've just had this overwhelming desire to jot down, my thoughts. And I came down here to the computer and I started typing, the thoughts that I had about this book and the characters. And, I was at it for hours and just kind of letting those, ideas and everything flow. So during the time when this happened, I was actually off work on medical leave. I had some minor surgery, so I had time. And I just, after that first day of me kind of jotting down my ideas and kind of the overall theme of the story, I shared it with my cousin, and she's my biggest fan and my biggest critic. Like, she tells me like it is. So she read it and she was like, "This is great, but you need to, continue. You need to add more." So I did. And I worked on it over probably a 6 to 8 week period of time. Like I said, I was off work. I had time to work on it day and night. So that's kind of how the first book came about.
Okay. One of my favorite book is Yesterday's Lies.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. That's actually one of my favorite books. So how has Yesterday's Lies, besides me, how has it been received? Because like I say, I love the heck out of it.
Yeah, it was my first, book, and it has been the one that has been the most well received to this point. And it's my favorite. This last book, which I know we'll talk about a little bit later, it was very different. It was very personal for me. But I always, whenever, to this point in my life, if anyone asks me what's my favorite, it's always Yesterday's Lies. And like I said, it was my first one, but it sold the best. And that could be, I did a lot more self-promotion of that one because nobody knew who author Terri was. But the book has been very well received by everyone. It really has.
Okay, awesome. Now, how's your writing career grown from there?
So after Yesterday's Lies, I had a sequel. It's called Today's Truth. And I had a third one in that series. It's called Tomorrow's Aftermath. And it really, it follows the characters. My four main characters in the original book, Yesterday's Lies, just kind of takes you through their journey. And Tomorrow's Aftermath is, as I've said to everyone, it's it for those characters. As far as them being together. I might write something down the road a little bit later about, each one of them individually and how they've kind of gone off in their life. But as a collective group, Tomorrow's Aftermath is it for those characters.
Okay, awesome. Now, and how long have you been writing?
My first book, Yesterday's Lies, came out in 2010. So, like I said, before then, I had just done, I've journaled. I have dabbled in poetry here and there, and I actually do have one piece of poetry that was published in a collaborative piece of work called Bubbling Brown Sugar, but I haven't published any other poetry beyond that one. So 2010, I would say, is my official date because that's when Yesterday's Lies came out.
Okay, I'm about to pick on you for a second because there's a flaw. Yes, I like to point out my favorite author's flaws. Yes, you have flaws. You write excellent books, but you're so modest. Oh yeah, I wrote a book. Yeah, it's okay. It's called Yesterday's Lies. It got some fanfare. No, you got the reviews I've seen and the people who talked about it, and so many people I know that have been talking about it. You have a very great writing career ahead of you. And I know, like I say, but I do like that modesty works well in this genre. But it's just sometimes just celebrate it.
Okay, I'll try to do that. And you're not the first person who's told me that actually. That I usually kind of downplay everything, but that's just my personality. I'm sorry, HC, I forgot to mention. So I have that Yesterday's Lies series, the trilogy, and then I also have an ebook series. The first one is Me and Mr. Right Now, Ooh. And then the second was Me and Mr. Wrong. They're ebooks only. I didn't have any of those printed to paperback, and it's really what happened was when I wrote Yesterday's Lies, and I actually spent a lot of time visiting book clubs and having conversations with the book club members about the book. A lot of people wanted to know more about Toni. She's the main character. So Me and Mr. Right Now and Me and Mr. Wrong are kind of take you back and kind of give you a little bit more background on Toni and what made her the way she is. So not directly tied to the that series, but how do you say it? It's like a prequel.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take that as a prequel.
Yeah.
Well, see, another lesson, and I've been doing this lately with my interviews. One lesson that our viewers and new authors can get is if people can react to a certain character, whether they love the character, hate the character, want the character to die, that means you've written a good book. Because
listen, these women, when I was going to these book clubs, HD, like, I would come back and I would tell my mom, I said, these people are arguing over these characters like they are real people.
Exactly.
So I do understand what you mean, and it really, it really did make me feel good that people were able to connect with the characters and follow them through the series. Now, I do have some people that are not at all happy with how I ended up everything in Tomorrow's Aftermath, but, I'm a writer. That's what I did. I can't change the ending now.
But here's the thing. That's how you know your readers are good, because even if they respond to you negatively about your decision, that means they've actually read the book, they love the book, they hate your decision.
Right. That's true.
And we as authors do have to live with it. I've killed off some characters. Some characters are real buttholes that other people don't like. They wish would die. So trust me, my readers do the same thing to me. So do not feel bad. So we're gonna fast forward. We're gonna fast forward to your new book, your new title, which is what?
Passport Wife.
Now, explain to me first the inspiration behind that book.
Well, the inspiration behind it is my journey. I also blog. I have a blog as well. And when I started on this journey, and the journey I'm talking about is I am now happily married, and it's somewhat unconventional, the situation. My husband is in the Dominican Republic, and I'm here in the United States right now. But I titled the book Passport Wife. I was starting to blog about my journey as far as meeting this man and our courtship, and I was spending a lot of time in the Dominican Republic, and I started blogging about it, and I received feedback. People are saying, you really need to tell the story, like you really need to tell the story. And the reason is, and I'm just telling you the facts. So my husband's younger, and it just so happens that my husband's name, his legal name is Winston. So it's very reminiscent of Stella and Winston.
I was about to say, because I was about to call you Stella.
Yeah, and some people do call me Stella. I have some people at my church, they're always like, hey, Stella. I'm like, my name is Terri. So it's kind of reminiscent of that. But the book itself, it's really more of a bio. I mean, this book really comes straight from my journals, straight from my blog, and I'm just being real with people because, it has been a difficult journey. I've loved every minute of it. It's been a difficult journey because I had people in my circle that were very concerned about the relationship. This younger man, from this, third world country, he's just trying to get here. He's just trying to, So I had all of that. I had to get through the whole people not trusting him, me not trusting him, if I'm honest. So it really is very personal. And I've gotten a lot of feedback, positive and negative, about how I put myself out there to the general public about the situation that I'm still in it. I'm still blogging about it. There probably will be a second one. Actually, I know there's going to be a second one because I started a blog, Dominican Housewife Chronicles, and it really chronicles. I was living there in the Dominican Republic with my husband for about a year and a half, and the cultural differences and and the language barriers. So in addition to all of this, when I met my husband, HD, he speaks zero English and I spoke zero Spanish. I took French when I was in high school. I never even took Spanish. So we have this, he doesn't know how to talk to me. I don't know how to talk to him, but somehow we figured it out along the way, and we've made it work. So that's the inspiration behind the book, Passport Wife.
See, I love that. I love that. So, my suggestion to you is I really would love for that to be like a series.
Oh
Some
yeah.
sort. Because I know you're doing the blog and everything, but it's like, oh my God, there will be like such a series. I mean, you could actually do it.
Yeah, I am planning to kind of do a follow-up, calling it, my plan title is Dominican Housewife Chronicles for the second one, because the first book really deals with how we met and kind of our courtship, and it takes us through about a month or two after we got married. And then the Dominican Housewife Chronicles will really chronicle, like I said, that year and a half or so that I was living there. And, there's some really funny things. There's some really emotional things about, I'm in this country, just me, not able to really speak the language. I had been married before, but it had been, 15 or plus years since I've been married. So it was different. It was a really different experience.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, despite all the negativity, despite everything, and I'm just going to speak that I'm going to get back to the book, how does Author Terri D feel about the whole situation?
I feel really good. I feel so, even though right now we're going through some challenges with getting his visa to get him here, it's been a year and a half and we still don't have that. So there are frustrating times, but I do feel really good. I just came back from a trip, excuse me, a couple of weeks ago. I went to visit my husband for my birthday, and it was the thing about my relationship with him, HD. I've been married before, I've been in relationships before, but we just clicked. Like I said, even though we couldn't speak each other's language, like we just fit together. This is the longest, this particular period, I had gone to visit him in April. I didn't go back to August. 4 months. We'd never been apart for 4 months before. It was the longest period of time we were apart. But when we get together, it's just like we didn't miss a beat. I'm not saying it's an easy relationship. I'm not saying it's, doves are flying around my head all the time. It is a marriage. And there are some challenges, but I've never been in a relationship with someone where we just figure things out in such a way that we're both whole. Sometimes when we enter into relationships, you lose yourself in the other person, or the other person loses himself. I feel like we have come together as a couple. We've learned each other, and we're still each whole. We're, together as a couple, but we still have whole parts of ourselves as well, if that makes sense.
Okay, it makes plenty of sense. Now, before I move on, I'm just going to say, as long as it makes sense to you, and only you and him, that's all that matters. Don't worry about anyone else. Don't worry about, only thing that matters is you and him.
Yeah, so it is, like I said, not without its challenges, but it is really good.
Awesome. Now, my next question is, this is where you start, how has it affected your writing career?
It didn't really affect my writing. It actually helped me get back into writing, because between Today's Truth, which was my second one, my second paperback, and the final, Tomorrow's Aftermath, there was a 4 or 5 year period where I didn't write at all, and that really had to do with a situation with one of my daughters. My daughter lost a child. I lost a grandchild, and it was just a very traumatic time. So I didn't write for, I would say, about 4 years. And when I say I didn't write, I journaled, but I didn't blog. I didn't write any books. It took me, the final book, Tomorrow's Aftermath, that was probably over a 4-year period.
Right.
I had started writing it before we lost the grandchild, and then there was so many other things going on. I wasn't in that right place as far as writing was concerned. So this experience with what I was going through with my husband, like I said, it was a very emotional time. It was a very difficult time because, I was outside of my comfort zone through all of this. And I found solace in writing. So I started the journaling thing again. And then, like I said, I just felt like this story, I'm a hopeless romantic. I am. And I just felt like this story needed to be told. because I do feel it is a great love story, and I just wanted to share it with as many people that wanted to read it.
Okay. Well, my thing is, like I said, you continue this journey, you're going to have readers. In fact, you have a lot of fans now, I guess. In fact, I already know you will have people that read, that's reading this. Now, how has it been well received so far?
It's been received very well. Again, I think for some people, it's a more difficult read because it is really like you're there with me. It's journal entries, but I'm explaining everything I feel, you feel. And that's some of the feedback I've gotten. People are like, when you were happy, I was happy. When you were crying, I was crying. When you were scared, I was scared. And to me, that's a great writer when you can, invoke those emotions when the people are reading it. They're just not reading words on a page. However, some people feel it's way too personal, that I shared too much of myself. And I've always been a very transparent person, so I didn't have any problem with it. But I have gotten some feedback from people that, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have said that. I would have used different names, And I said it wouldn't make any sense for me to try to change the names of the situation because I was already blogging about it, so everyone already knew this was a part of my personal journey. So I just made it my journey.
I'm going to make an announcement. This is even though I have interviewed erotic authors before. This is a family show, but I'm just gonna say it like this: those that don't receive you well, who want to judge your journey, can go to HE double hockey sticks for all I can.
Right. Yes, I agree. And actually, folks that are not what I say in my circle, my closest friends and family who have read the book are just kind of, and because of where it ended, the book ends in 2017 and we're already almost to the end of 2019, so a lot has happened. So some people have read the book and they're like, oh my gosh, you're still with him? I can't believe you're still dealing with this. And I said, but there's been a lot that has happened since then. And that's why they're like, well, you need to write another book because we need to know what happened. So I will say that there definitely has to be a part two, if not, like you said, a series, because I feel as though there's the second part could be, like I said, when I was living in the Dominican Republic with him, the first year and a half of our marriage. Then the third book will be this visa process. That's a whole book in itself.
Well, I don't make threats. I make promises. If we need to make a series, I'm gonna always be here. But I'm gonna say, who's that man you ain't but? Oh, this guy keep make me want to do a series. Do a series. I'm gonna be bugging you the whole time. Do a series.
I do plan to continue to, talk about this journey because, again, it's been a journey, but I don't know. I mean, you've known me. We've known each other for years. I know we don't talk all the time, but I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm content. I have peace.
Very happy about that, and I can tell, like, you're glowing. I mean,
yes.
When you're glowing, exactly. So my next question is, how can I get to know you? How can I buy your books? You go to the book club. Where can I buy your book? How can I get to know you? How can your new fans get to know you?
They can get to know me. I have an author page on Facebook, Author Terri D. I also have a website, which is www.authorterrid.com. It's Terri, Terri. They can get to know me there. I also do have a bio on Amazon. My books are available on all, major outlets online. They can also, if they want an autographed copy, they can go onto my website and put their request in, and I can, sign the books and ship it to them that way as well.
Awesome.
And, the best way, though, seriously, is through my Author Terri D author page on Facebook, and I blog, and I every week or two, I'll put links on there to my latest blog posts. But reading my blogs, I mean, you get to know Terri because, like I said, I'm very transparent. I mean, I tell it like it is. What I'm feeling is what I'm writing about, and you can get to know me very well by reading any of my books or even, like I said, the blog.
Okay, this is that part of the show where we give you the final word. Where if you have any advice, anything you want to say, any shout-outs you want to give, or anything you just want to say to any new upcoming authors, whatever you want to say, the floor is yours.
For new authors, I would, and I know they probably hear this all the time, but do your research. One of, the easiest parts, I feel, this is my opinion, is the writing. The hardest part is the marketing. And I think that a lot of new authors who are talented and can write, they kind of jump into this game and they think, oh, I write really good books, so it's going to be easy. It really isn't. The hardest part is the marketing. Again, from my perspective, I don't know what your perspective is, HD, but my advice would be do your research, make sure you have a good marketing plan, and know your audience. I think that's one of the harder parts, too, is figuring out who is your target audience that you're trying to get to and how to get to them. So, again, that's my advice for new authors.
Okay, awesome. And any shout outs you want to give, or anything you want to say to your husband, or anything you want to...
Oh my goodness. Well, he still doesn't know a lot of English. I've learned a lot more Spanish because I live there. But he is actually, I dedicated the book Passport Wife to him. He knows how I feel. That is another thing I will tell you. I have never been in a relationship before where I had so much support from that person about this part, the writing. He completely supports my writing. And actually, when I was there a few weeks ago, he was asking me, are you still writing? Is there another book? And he wants me to, him and a lot of his family members have asked that I have this book translated into Spanish. And the funny part about that is I'd like to do that, but I kind of don't want to do that because I really talk about them in the book and not necessarily in a negative way.
Right. I got you.
But it's just, my perceptions of things as I was getting to know them, and I lost my earring. And as I was learning the culture. Sorry, HD. So I want to do that, but I don't because I don't want them to get mad. Like one of the main, I'll say, characters is my sister-in-law. I refer to her as my sister wife, and I did that because she was always there in the beginning because I didn't understand the language, because I didn't understand the culture. My husband did not like for me to be alone. So when he went to work in the morning, there had to be someone at the house with me. And I understand that now. There's a lot of poverty. It's a very, very, very poor country. And the poverty is so great. They look at me, they can tell that I'm a tourist. I'm American, and they will try to take advantage of you. So anyway, I called her my sister wife because she was always at the house and she was always doing the cooking and the cleaning and everything. Initially, I slowly took over those roles and responsibilities from her, but I referred to her as my sister wife, and I don't know that she would appreciate me calling her that if she knew that I was actually referring to her as a sister wife.
Oh, I think she wouldn't mind. In fact, like I say, you're all family. That's the whole thing. You're all a family.
Right, we're all family.
Bad intentions are deliberate. Is that a warning or a threat? No, it's a book by author Renee A. Beauty goes a long way and never seems to run out of road. Crave, a very gorgeous young lady, finds out that beauty does and doesn't matter when she's introduced to Blair, better known as Big Time B. After clubbing with her friend Gretchen, she and Blair end up having a one-night stand. He knows how to pleasure her treasure. What does that mean? Well, I guess you must buy Bad Intentions Are Deliberate by author Renee A. Buy it at Amazon or at www.naughtyandnicenovels.com and coming soon to your favorite bookstore.
welcome back to the Author's Corner where we're about to take an actual Star Tour. When I mean Star Tour, we're actually about to do a Star Wars ride. Now, you know Star Wars just like my favorite Marvel or Disney properties. So, when we take this ride, I'm going to take you with me, provided there's not a lot of twists and turns. But there's no danger of being shot because stormtroopers are bad. Now, for those who don't know Star Wars, stormtroopers are very bad shots. So, there's no risk of getting shot by a stormtrooper. So, just thought I'd let you know. So, thank you. I want to introduce you guys to Lula Carter. She is not only our assistant, which we're going to get into that very much later. She also does all those lovely voiceovers that you hear. In fact, she'll be doing her own here in a minute for the next show. So yes, she does all those lovely voiceovers for our show, for our company, for our commercials, things like that. So, my first question to you is, and this is kind of hard, but who is Lula Carter for real?
Ooh, who is Lula Carter? That's a good one. I hadn't thought about that one. To be honest, she's just a very focused, very determined woman to be successful in her business. I love inspiring people. I love uplifting people. I love motivating people. I have a few people that I've helped complete like half marathons and 5Ks, so I do that as well. I'm also a cyclist. So I consider myself a pretty well-rounded individual. I'm also the mother of two beautiful daughters and the grandmother of two beautiful granddaughters. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
So in other words, you're a goddess. That's basically what you are.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, you're a goddess. Yeah, no, I'm saying that. All right, but so, well, first I'm going to get into, yes, you do a lot of 5Ks, you do a lot of cycling. Tell me your motivation behind that.
Tell you my what?
Your motivation for the 5Ks and the cycling and everything.
Well, I had a heart attack when I was kind of young. And because of hereditary, father and mom had heart issues. And let's just say out of 8 kids, only 2 had heart issues. And it just happened to be me and my brother, the last 2 of the bunch. So they said to become more active. And so I was like, okay, well, let me start doing 5Ks. At least I can start walking, and that will, keep the heart up, keep everything going. So that year, the year after my heart attack, I did 52 5Ks in 6 months. Oh yeah, after that, then I decided that I was going to do my first half marathon, but I had to get the approval from my doctor to do that. So I pretty much got the bid, had paid for the run, and then convinced her to let me do it. And the only way she would let me do it is if I carried my nitroglycerin, and if I got overheated, that I would stop. Well, anybody that knows me, once I start a race, I'm not gonna stop. So, yeah. It took me longer than I wanted to do it, but I did it. And I've done 39 half marathons since then, over the course of 5 years.
Okay. And how many you say you've done?
Well, half marathons I did 39, 5Ks I've done over 225 in 5 years, 6 years.
Awesome. Have you ever raised any money?
Yes, I also do a breast cancer 5K walk and bike ride in October that raises funds for the Watts Mobile Mammogram Unit here in California, and the only way they are able to function is through donations. So every year, I put on a 5K and a bike ride, and we raise funds, and everything collected is sent directly over to the Mobile Mammogram Unit. They provide free mammograms for anyone that doesn't have insurance. So that's very important to me because my mom passed from breast cancer, and I'm a survivor as well. So That's a very, very important cause for me personally.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. Now, another thing that you're very strong against, and then we'll switch gears a little bit. She's also a Facebook friend of mine, and she lives out in California, where basically a lot of racism, a lot of police brutality, and a lot of racist issues happen. I won't say you're, well, I ain't gonna say it. I'm just gonna go out and say it. You're an advocate.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how do you feel? So how do you feel about the atmosphere of racism today, even in with everything going on?
It's more prevalent than people want to acknowledge. It happens, I think, on a daily basis almost as African Americans, but a lot of people don't want to acknowledge it. They just want to sweep it under the rug because if it hasn't happened to them or somebody that they love, they really don't want to talk about it. Until it happens to most people, they don't want to discuss it, and that's the wrong attitude to have because there's too many of us getting railroaded into things that should not be happening. So yeah, I'm very outspoken about that when it comes to that. A lot of people say I'm militant when it comes to that. No, I'm more about human rights and doing the right thing and people receiving the justice that they deserve. We all know there's two systems when it comes to justice. There's a white justice system, and then there's everybody else's justice system. And 9 times out of 10, everybody else is going to get convicted, and for the same crimes that white do, they're going to get a slap on the wrist and sent home. When black people have to spend years in jail for things most of the time they're not even guilty of. There's too much police framing and setup. It's been proven time and time and time again, but people don't want to acknowledge it.
Exactly. And for those who don't know Lula, Lula is one of the few people, because see, Facebook and social media always get a bad term, but the problem is Facebook is for sharing information. And whenever you find information that is prevalent to us and our people, you always share it, you always tag me, you always tag other people. And to me, a lot of the stuff needs to be known.
Yes. Very much so.
So again, I personally appreciate you for that.
You know, I just got an inbox last night from a young lady that I know who's not African American, she's white. And I had asked her to watch This Is Us. When They See Us, sorry. Asked her to watch When They See Us. And she told me she finally watched it. She's very heartbroken. She had some questions. I answered her questions. And she just felt like she wished she could just hug every African American in the world for all the injustice that's been done to the world. But that's just one person who it affected. Can you imagine if a lot more people have that much compassion about what happens to the black and brown people in the U.S.? This world would be completely different. It really would.
And see, more and more people outside of people of color really saw what we were going through, and there wouldn't be a lot of what's going on today.
Correct.
So I really appreciate you for that, and I really admire you for that. So I'm switching gears. Actually, I'm going into something a little bit more pleasant, because Lula is always smiling about something, which I'm always happy. What keeps you always so happy and always smiling?
I don't have a choice. I've been through a lot that has broken me to a certain degree, but I'm also thankful that I'm still here. And my mom would kill me, even though she's not here anymore. She always said that even if you're having a bad day, you're never allowed to take it out on anybody else. So to me, the best way to approach each day, no matter what's going on, you have to start with a smile. Because if you start with a smile, no matter what goes on in your day, you're going to be okay. It may get you for a couple minutes, maybe even for an hour or two. But you can't have a pity party every day. You'll be under a rug all the time. You know, you wouldn't want to leave your house. You wouldn't want to interact with people. I'm not trying to live like that. I'm trying to live my life as loud as possible, as much fun as possible. That's just my goal. I've had a heart attack. I've survived cancer. I've been in 2 major car accidents, and I'm still here. So that means I got a reason to smile every day because I woke up this morning.
That's it. That's it. Now, real quick before I get into her business, and I do mean what earns her money. We'll get into her business a little bit. Gentlemen, speaking to the gentlemen out there, Lula Carter is single, but she won't. But the problem is she's not just gonna take anybody. So if you're gonna come up to Lula, you better come correct, because her brother right here, that's doing this interview, will be watching, and we'll get a plane ticket. Just to let you know. See, I got no smile out of her. See, because I'm not lying.
No, you're not.
Because she just jumped on somebody who attacked me this morning. Somebody attacked me a few weeks ago, and she found out about it, and so she ready to go on a plane now. But that's for proof.
Family. That's what you do for family. You always have your family back, no matter what.
Exactly.
That's just family.
And when I mean she has our back, she has my back, she has my wife's Tara's back. She has our family's back. So trust me, nobody's gonna mess with us. Now, going with your shirt, minding my black-owned business, why don't we start getting into Carter Elite Travel? Tell me, when did you start that, and what motivated you to start a travel agency?
Well, it's been, believe it or not, May made 12 years that I've had my business. Prior to that, let me just preempt that with this. I just pretty much retired from the film industry. I was an accounting supervisor for a film studio in Hollywood for 30 years.
Oh, nice.
But during that time, I was building my business, educating myself about business. I've had clients from day one that are still with me. So now I am fully 24/7 focused on my business. I was focused on my business before, but I also had a full-time job at the time. So now it's 24/7 Carter Elite Travel, sending my clients all over the world, family reunions, destination weddings, honeymoons, solo travelers, whatever they want to do, wherever they want to go, I got it. I have over 200 certifications. I do invest in my education when it comes to travel. I do invest in my business by taking trips, taking cruises, learning about the different things that I can offer to my clients so that I know what they're going to experience when they arrive. I just got back from Cancun, headed back to Los Cabos in a couple of weeks. Right in October, I'll be heading to Australia for 12 days. Get off of that trip, come back, be home for 2 days, and then I'm doing a Caribbean cruise for 8 days. So then I have a travel conference coming up in November in Florida. That's going to be about 8 days in Florida, learning new suppliers, building my brands, connecting, making contacts, learning about new places I can send my clients, new places that I need to go so I'll be able to sell it to my clients. And in December, I'm going back to Mexico for a destination wedding conference because destination weddings for my business has been picking up a lot. So although I've done several and I'm real knowledgeable when it comes to it, I never feel I don't know everything. So it's always best for me to stay on top of my industry by attending the conferences, attending the webinars, attending the seminars, and traveling to different places in order to be able to offer my clients the best when it comes to their travel needs.
Well, one thing I've seen, and from knowing you, knowing your business, this isn't just an interview, everyone. This is actually sort of a how-to manual for how to run a business. Because you start your business, you're actually working on your business daily. And again, you said the key phrase, I don't know everything. Because when you start a business, you really don't. Even when you've been in business 10, 12 years, you don't know everything. And industries change. So you decide, I'm going to work with the changing industry. Because nothing gets profitable by staying the same always.
No. And I use social media a lot. Believe it or not, a lot of my clients come from social media. You know, daily I post on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'm always getting inbox messages or people make a comment on a post that I've done, and then they inbox me about something. So a lot of my clients do come from social media, but a lot of my clients come from referrals as well, from people who I've handled their travel for. So that I always call them my MVPs and my VIPs, because they always, if somebody say they want to go somewhere, they will send them my way.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, my next question is, what are some of your advantages about running this business? Or some of the upsides? Or
The upside?
Yeah.
The upside is I get to see people discover new destinations that they've always dreamed about, and to actually be able to go and visit. I just had a lady come back from Thailand. She wanted to go to Phuket for her 40th birthday. So we planned it a year out with some of her girlfriends, and they sent me some of the best pictures while she was there. Clients that have always dreamed of swimming with the dolphins. I've got pictures of clients riding horseback in the water. You know, different things that they always dreamt that they wanted to do. I'm able to help make it possible for them. And to me, that's always an advantage, because someone being able to fulfill a destination or a dream that they've had, and to see it come to fruition because I was able to assist them, is very fulfilling for me. I get to discover different places I may not have been to, that they get to go to, and then I get to see it through their eyes and what they experience. And to me, that's important, because you're opening up new worlds to people when they get to travel to a destination that they've never been to. You know, for me, the ultimate, I always used to dream about going to South Africa. I got to go 2 years ago. When I tell you, I cried when I landed, because it was like, I'm actually here. I can't believe that I'm here. This is not real. It felt surreal, because it was like, I've sent people here so many times, and I finally get to be here. That was like, oh, man, that was amazing. That was truly amazing. I went to China recently, last year, and got to climb the Great Wall. I've always heard about the Great Wall, and I've sent so many people there, but I never had the opportunity to go. Then when I got the chance to go, it was just like unbelievable. You know, Australia, that's my next one. You know, I always want to go see a live kangaroo, not in a zoo, but actually in its natural habitat, and I'll get to see that in October, and I'm so excited.
Exactly.
And what I enjoy about being able to do my business is that I get to show people that there's a world outside of those four walls that you live in, and outside of that job that you go to every day. It is possible for you to be able to travel the world. A lot of people think, oh, it's so expensive to travel. No, it's not. It is not. If you talk to a travel professional like myself, we will make sure it's affordable and it's possible for you to do it.
Now, here's the downside about us. We are the ones that feel we can't go nowhere beyond our four walls. We can't, we'll go to the basic places, but to leave the country or go somewhere that's, like you said, Australia, South Africa. You know what? I'll tell you what. I've been to Disney a couple weeks ago, but I'm jealous because you went to South Africa. I would have loved to go to South Africa. That is like so freaking awesome.
Yeah, the Seychelles. It started in the Seychelles Islands, and a lot of people don't even know where the Seychelles Islands are, or what the Seychelles Islands is. But when I tell you, that is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I got to take a picture in this pool, because the villa that I had a pool that overlooked the ocean. And so I got in the water, and my villa came with a butler. So he took a picture of me looking out over the ocean in the pool in the villa. It was, I still can't believe God made it possible for me to go. I just cannot. You have no idea. You have no idea. And then go on a safari, and an actual live safari, and see the big five and then some. I mean, elephants walking right up to the truck, and amazing.
It's very surreal. I love that. I truly love that.
Yes.
So what are some of your downsides of running this business?
Whew. downsides. Always getting people that's calling, price checking. People come and they'll have me work up a trip for them, and then they'll turn around and book it themselves. That happens almost daily. And I know some people feel that to block, other agents feel that in order to stop that from happening, they charge an upfront planning fee. I don't do that. Trust me, I really wanted to, but I feel people can go anywhere they want to go to book their travel, and they come to me. So I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to give them what they're asking for within reason. But the major downfall is people using my information and going and book for themselves. You know, the only way I make money is if you get on that plane and go where it is that you had me research and book for you. If you don't book with me, there's no income for me. So to me, that's the really downside of it, because I put a lot of work into what I do for my clients, and for them to take the information and either take it somewhere else for somebody else to book it, or to duplicate it online and not think about the time that I invested in it. I made it easier for them because I have all the components for them to do it. So that's really the major downfall of it, is the fact that people will take my information and either take it to another agent, or they will book it themselves after I've done all the work for them.
See, like I say that, and trust me, being a business owner myself, I have a lot of that going on. But like you say, I'll never charge you a consultant fee or whatever it is. If you want to shop around. But like I say, a lot of time is wasted when you do that. And time is always someone else's money.
Right.
And they don't understand that.
Correct.
So switching gears, you have another role, actually a very cool role that I actually really appreciate. You work with HD Campbell Productions. Can you tell everyone what you do for HD Campbell Productions, and how did you get wrapped up in such an outfit?
How did I get wrapped up in such a You asked me first of all. But what I do for HD Campbell Productions, I do the voiceovers for all the promos, commercials, things like that. I'm also the on-the-ground pretty much reporter, because anything that's going on in the news, I make sure it's posted on the HD Campbell television page to get people in the know so they know what's going on. I also get to share some information from my page as well when it comes to travel. So I'm appreciative of that, because it exposes me to another audience.
Okay, I normally don't do this in an interview, but I am going to criticize one thing. You don't do that enough. You don't promote yourself enough on my page. And when the page is
sorry, I can do a little bit more.
Yes, you can. But continue.
And just being able to reach out to people and let them know what's going on in the world. Because like I said before, a lot of people, if it didn't happen to them directly, they don't know about it. So being able to let them know what actually is going on in the world, I appreciate that a lot. It's another platform in order to be able to share what's going on in the world. And hey, wake up, folks! This is what's going on. We need you to be aware of this, or we need you to be mindful of what is actually happening in this world. Don't just live up under your rock that you're under. There's a lot going on here, Like I said, but some people call me militant because I do spread the word about what's going on, especially when it's about injustice and things like that. I don't care. I'm not going to be one that's going to be quiet. If you don't like it, my page, there's an exit, there's an unfriend button on my page. I'm okay if you leave.
Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. HD Television is the page she posts on, and it's not even about the hits it gets. It gets so many hits. It gets so many. It just gets so many likes to the fact that you're getting the word out there. That's the thing. I'm not even worried about the likes. I'm worried about the fact that you're getting the word out there. So everything you put on there is awesome. Because one thing, a little behind the scenes a bit, I don't always have time to post to my groups. But when I don't post, she normally posts. So, and I really appreciate you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
So what's in the future for Lula Carter?
Whew, I told you what I'm doing the rest of the year. Now I'm still working on 2020 now. But I do, well, for 2020, I do have some groups that are set up. They're gonna be traveling to Greece. They're gonna be going to South Africa. They're gonna be going to Thailand. We're gonna go to Los Cabos in February to turn up because that's my birthday month. So we're going to turn up in Los Cabos.
All right.
We got a couple trips planned for Jamaica for anybody that wants to go. Anybody that wants to do a 5K or a half marathon or a full marathon in December of next year, we have a group that's going over to Jamaica. And, you're going to vacation and run at the same time, So, yeah, we have quite a few things going on next year that we're excited about. We're hoping everybody will join us and just start having fun. We weren't born to pay bills and work every day. We were born to enjoy this life that we're given, and we can't get it back. Once the time is gone, it's gone. So we have to enjoy each and every moment that we're given. We got to find some joy in something. And my way to help you and find that joy is to put you on a plane and send you somewhere you've never been before.
Okay, well, since I got you on the show, I got you in my grasp on the spot, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, really?
I've already launched it, and I already have like a couple of commercial spots, and you're going to voice quite a few of them. We're actually going to start a Carter Elite Travel page where you're going to do a lot of live video. You're going to do a lot of different things. I'll be purchasing a domain name here in a few months for you.
All righty.
So we're going to
when I'm on location, I go live wherever I am to let everybody see where I am, see what it's like. So you can't just. The reason why I like doing that here, it's because it gives people a bird's eye view of what it is. You can see something on a website or in a print magazine, and when you get there, it's not the same.
Right.
So when I go to these different locations, I'm able to do it live so people can actually see what it is at that time and know that what I'm showing them or what I'm telling them is actually what they get when they get there.
Right. Is there any final words or any advice you want to give to any new entrepreneurs, to anyone who's never traveled, anything? The floor is yours.
Well, if you've never traveled, don't be afraid to. I have a lot of people who wouldn't travel because they didn't have anybody to travel with them, and I convinced them to go on solo trips, and they loved it. So don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. For a lot of people, getting on a plane is nerve-wracking. There's things I can help you get together so you're prepared to get on the plane. There's nothing to be afraid of. I had a lady that went with me on a group trip. And when we got on the plane, I have this routine I do. I put my neck pillow on, I wrap my hair up, I put my earplugs in, put my socks on, get comfortable, and I'm ready to go to sleep even before we take off. And she was like, I can't believe you're going to sleep on me. I'm like, look, I came by the plane. If something happens, he'll take care of it. That's his job, and I'll see you when we get there. Some people, you just gotta be open to new experiences. And when it comes to running your business, don't look for your family and friends to be your support system. That's not going to happen. You have to go out there and get your clients based on what you're offering and just give it your all. You have to be persistent. You have to know, you have to be determined every day when you wake up that you're going to reach that goal that you set for yourself. If that means getting 2 new clients, getting 1 new client, whatever it may be. But you're not going to let anybody, no matter who they are, stop you from going after your dream and making what you want to do for your business seem minuscule, because it's your dream. Nobody else can live it for you.
and fall for what she's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her the heart covered as a gift and hope that you'll take it into her side.
Star Tours 1401, you are cleared for departure.
1401, that's us. We can't take off. The captain isn't on board.
Auto takeoff sequence initiated.
Oh, no. Excuse me. You don't seem to understand. I am not the captain. I am C-3PO.
1401, cleared for takeoff. Contact departure on frequency 429er.
Wait! R2-D2, I am not programmed to fly these things. Now just turn us around this instant before we get into trouble. I knew it!
Stop right there.
Don't you?
I know you have a spy on board.
I'm afraid there's been a terrible mistake.
They're a spy and a traitor to the First Order.
Uh-oh.
I've never seen that human before.
Don't be a fool. You are no match for the power of the dark side.
Star Tours, what are you doing here? Just stay low. Fuses are tracking. Put your shields up. If they work.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Only on the office corner can you see this stuff. Oh no, we've been hit. Oh no! We're damaged. Call for help.
Help!
Call my insurance company now.
This instant. Now, I'm getting us out of this place. The transmission.
I am Mars Kanata, and I come to you with an urgent message. The shadow of the dark side is spreading across the galaxy. Our friends in the Resistance need your help. Even you. Head to the coordinates I'm sending.
Me?
We must face them and fight them. Now go!
I guess they're talking about me. Light speed! Ahead!
Up and away!
What's wrong, R2? You okay? Wait a minute. Where's R2 for? Okay, now I am scared. R2's falling into the ship. Okay. There we go. Oh, crap. Oh.
You shouldn't have come. Execute them.
Okay. R2 is fired after this.
This adventure is just beginning. What are you looking at? Go away! Go away!
Please remain seated until the captain will open the evacuation. You may then unlatch your safety restraints by